Hello everyone. In this video, I will show you how to search like a pro for your CKAD Certified Kubernetes Application Developer exam. You can always bookmark all the pages ahead of the exam if you find that one more convenient. But when I appeared for all the Kubernetes exam, I would prefer to actually search for the right keyword, and I find that one much faster. But anyway, I will walk you through the strategy which I have used, and also some more tips on how to search like a pro for your CKAD exam. So let's get started. So first thing, let's say we'll go through a couple of examples. So let's say there is a question on role-based access control, the role or cluster role or something like that, right? So this is the first example, right? So we have role-based authorization. So first thing you should do is always search for kind : because you are searching for YAML, right? So when you are searching for YAML, the YAML would always have the kind object. So kind could be pod, deployment, role, service, or anything else. So I'll just quickly walk you through. For example, let's say this is the first link. I'll click this link. I have come to RBAC authorization. So I will search, for example, to come to this page, I haven't bookmarked, right? So I can just search it for role. Okay, I have searched for role, and if I search, the first link itself is RBAC authorization. So I have come here. So next, the thing which I mentioned first is you search for the kind. So I'll just do Command F and just pay attention to my search box here, right? So I'll search for kind, and when I search for kind, just look here how many snippets, like how many YAML are there, like 31, right? So for example, I am searching for role or cluster role. So I can see, okay, kind space and then role. So I'll just put space and role, right? So I know there are 7 examples of how to use a role. So I can just quickly take a look, right? Kind role, role binding, then kind role. So this role binding is an example of how to bind the role to a user, right? So similarly, you can quickly like go through how many examples are there. For example, kind default, pod, so example, logs reader, so pod, get list, all those things. So there are 7 instances, right? So another one which I talked about is, let's say, cluster role, right? So I can just do cluster role. So there are 11 examples of, immediately I come to the first one of 11. So I can see, okay, cluster role, like core group, secrets. Okay, so this is like a secret watcher, and you can quickly read over just above the YAML, like what this snippet of code is doing, and secret reader, right? So you can just copy paste if it is relevant to the question being asked, and you can also do something like copy it to the notepad which they have given, and align the syntax or remove some lines if you are not comfortable directly editing that in Vim. Okay, so that's one tip. So I have given 2 snippet of code. For example, this is a role which is like a pod reader, and how to use that in a role binding, and which I've just showed you. So remember this one. Okay, second, we'll just run through quickly some example. Let's say the question is about security context, right? So I'll click this link and come to search for security context. This is, I'm just showing because I have not bookmarked. So first link itself is a security context. Then first thing, as I mentioned, search for kind. So okay, kind, I have got 4 examples, right? So just search, click enter, enter, enter. Okay, and you can quickly see through like which example is the most relevant to the question being asked. Okay, so probably I will think, okay, this one is the best one, because it looks long and I can delete rather than I am adding something, right? So I can take this, copy paste it, and paste it in the Vim editor. So I have shown this example for this particular illustration, right? So we'll move on to the next one. So let's say the scenario is something like define environment variables, right? So here is an example, right? So I'll click this link. I haven't bookmarked, so I can just search for environment. So this is a global search. So immediately I've come to the second link, which is very clearly like how to define environment variables for a container. And then, as I mentioned, search for kind first. So click here, just scroll down a bit. So you will see, okay, this is how the environment variables like env, demo variable. Okay, so there are only 2. So you can actually, if you want to be 100%, you can just search for env. Okay, so env also has 2. So that means this is all that we need to know. Okay, moving on. So I'll take you to the next illustration. Okay, let's say the scenario is about secrets. So I have mentioned like search for kind as always, and second thing, for example, secret name or something. There is a code. I have copy pasted from that same document. I'll click this link, secrets, and secrets anyway, because it's just a single word. If you search secrets also, you will come to this page. And again, let's start with kind first. Okay, this kind has like, there are 22 examples of this, so you may have to just quickly keep clicking next, 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 next. Okay, so this looks like pretty relevant. Like if there is a like a environment variables and the value must come from secret key ref or something from the secret keys. So you can copy paste this if this matches the requirements, or you can go down. So as second thing which I mentioned, like something like secret name. So you can just take this one, copy it, Command C, Command F, Command V, and then you can see there are 5 examples of how to use secret name. So you can keep clicking next, 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 and whichever you feel, for example, how to mount a secret to a volume or something. So this one looks pretty straightforward, right? So if this matches the scenario being asked, you can copy paste this particular code. Okay, moving on. Let's say next is configure service accounts for the pods. So again, I would search in this case something like first kind, and next I would search something like a pod, kind equal to pod. So anyway, I'll just walk you through. So for example, this one also, just a simple search would do service account. I'm not even like caring about whether the syntax is correct or not. Just this is the same first link which I came to, and I search for kind. Remember to after kind definitely put a colon, right? So I can see there are 8 examples. So okay, I'll just quickly run through it. Service account. So first is how to declare a service account. Next is pod, how to use a service account in a pod. Okay, so they have given, okay, this is how it should look like. This one is okay, this is command line based. Scroll down a bit, and this is also service account, and a secret, and a secret service account, service account, and the one more pod example. Okay, so this one looks, this is the last example, like 8 out of 8 is for the service account. So this one looks pretty long, so probably I can copy paste this one and modify the code as per the requirement, and that's what I have pasted here. So you may have to like look couple of like snippets of code. For example, as when I searched, I see like auto mount service account token equal to false. So I may have to copy this line and paste it in the pod or something, or maybe some other like how to mount it to a volume or volume mount. So probably you have to like combine 2 snippets of code in some scenarios. Okay, next one is network policy. So I'll click this link. Network policy is anyway straightforward. So if you just search network policy, you will just come to this main one which I have shown, and again I will just run search for kind first, and okay, this one looks pretty long, so maybe it may be relevant for, okay, but anyway I'll just quickly run through it. So all looks small and very specific. Okay, targeting a range of ports and all. So there are 7 examples that is given in the document. So this one looks the longest, and probably if I copy paste and modify it as per the requirement, I may get to the solution which is asked. Right, so I have given the same for your reference. Okay, next one is for liveness, readiness, and startup probes. So this is pretty like, you need to understand this one like really well for the application developer exam. So I have given more snippets of code for this one. So I'll start with kind first, and then I will search for something like specific to the exam, like what they are asking, whether they are asking TCP socket or CAT or TCP socket or some other kind of thing. But anyway, I'll show you. So I search for this, and if I search for kind, okay, so in this case there are only 4 snippets which I have to run through. So first is about I can see, okay, this is about liveness probe. Okay, So this is how like Liveness Probe with exec command cat tmp healthy. Okay, it looks nice. Okay, but for example, they have given something like, okay, but I'll first run through all the kind pod. So I can see Readiness Probe, Liveness Probe, and I can see again something about Liveness Probe, but this example looks pretty convoluted. And then I will, okay, let's search for something like healthy. So I take this, command C, command F, command V, and okay, so there are 8 snippets which I have to run through. Okay, so first one I have already, so this is okay, this is some Go function, I can ignore it. Okay, so this is Liveness and startup probe, how to use endpoint. Okay, and this is all part of single. Okay, and there's one last example, and there's some extra settings, so you can just see whichever is the fittest as per the requirement, copy paste that, and if that doesn't that doesn't cover all the things that is required, probably you can take a line or two from the other snippet. So this is the for the Liveness, Readiness and startup probes, and that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. Bye.